Right. Ons was gister besig met hierdie werk. Ons het mos 'n tydjie ver gekom. Ek was net so stadig. We are recording this lesson. Ek moet mos vir julle sê as die les gerekord word. Ons het gekom tot so ver gister. Ons het hierdie bedrag moes ons uitgewerk het. We said that's 50% of the net income, which gives you 870,000 rand. That is what your income tax for the year is. We've put in the 870,000 rand into the income tax account. Ons het gister geleer dat dit word soos 'n uitgawe hanteer. We treat this account as if it is an expense, but it's actually sharing the profit. Remember, a company being a legal person, a legal entity, that profit of the company must first of all be taxed, because any person who works must actually pay tax. Is julle by daarmee? So this is the profit, must be shared first of all to SARS for income tax. Then what is left, wat oor is, gaan mos gedeel word tussen die aandeelhouers. The shareholders will get their share of the remaining profit, the earnings after tax. They will get their share in the form of dividends. En die maatskappy gaan mos gewoon 'n bietjie self oorhou. The bit that the company is going to keep is called the retained income. Is julle by daarmee? Okay, so we said yesterday that SARS, the income tax account, will be sharing the profit. It's going to be an debit entry. Dan moet ons gaan na SARS inkomstebelasting, SARS inkomstebelasting. That is where I stopped yesterday. I was supposed to enter this in here, 2021, August the 31st. Because you already know that every debit needs a credit. There's the debit in the income tax account. In the income tax account, we said we're going to credit SARS income tax because that is our tax liability for the year. Is julle reg? Dis mos ons belasting, die skuld vir die jaar. I know we've paid some of the tax during the year, but remember, during the year when you make that provisional payments, you are actually sucking it out of your fund. Want jy weet nie regtig wat die netto wins gaan wees tot aan die einde van die jaar nie. Is julle by daarmee? Do all of you understand this? I am sure that in the financial world, in the year that ended 28 February 2020, nobody would have thought that halfway during that year, that Februarie gaan 'n slegte maand wees vir besighede, want toe het COVID al klaar om die hele wêreld op hol gehad. Do you understand this? So there's always going to, the provisional tax payments is in a perfect world. If this really is your profit, this is the tax you are supposed to pay. But you don't know that until you have your final statement of comprehensive income. Is jy by? En dan weet jy nog steeds nie, because then you submit your statements to SARS. And SARS will then let you know, yes, we accept this, of nie, ons aanvaar dit nie, verduidelik 'n bietjie, hoekom is die salarisse hierdie jaar aan so groot, why is your profit so much less than last year? Hulle kan ons navraag doen. They don't need to accept your statement. And after that has been done, dan eers gaan hulle vir jou sê, according to the tax table, this is how much tax you are supposed to pay for the year. And that is your tax assessment. Is julle by daarmee? Kyk, jy kan die beste CA in die wêreld hê wat jou boeke gaan doen. SARS still can overrule his stuff if they have reason. Hulle kan nie onredelik wees nie, but if they have reason, they can say, sorry, we do not agree with this expense. Why is this expense, especially depreciation, onthou, waardevermindering is mos 'n uitgawe wat jou nie geld kos nie. So most companies actually push up the depreciation because then it makes the profit on paper less. Onthou, waardevermindering word vir niemand betaal nie. Is julle by? Do you understand this? Is julle by? Okay, right. So the other account, 870,000 in the SARS account. The account concerned was income tax. Die rekening inkomstebelasting. And you would have done this in your general journal. Jy sal dit gedoen het in die algemene joernaal. We're not doing the journals, I'm just telling you. En die bedrag is 870,000. Is julle alright? Are we fine? Okay. Wat is die volgende transaksie? Let's read next. Right. Nou is ons Die rest gaan, you will never see this, but now you will have to do your final accounts. Jy het nou klaar al die transaksies gedoen. Wat nou oorbly, ons gaan nou moet saldeer wat gesaldeer moet word. We're going to balance which account should be balanced, and then I'm going to teach you the year-end procedure. Dan gaan ek vir jou die jaar-eind prosedure wys. Okay? So kom ons saldeer gou-gou wat ons kan saldeer. Op hierdie stadium kan ons nog niks doen by behoue inkomste nie. Ek wil gaan teruggaan na die gewone aandele kapitaal toe. In ordinary share capital, I can do a balance. Ek kan nou gaan saldeer. My balance will be on the 31st of July. Ek gaan dit afbring 2021 and that is going to be August the 1st. Saldo afgebring, saldo oorgedra eers. Let's add 3 million. This side 3 million. So the balance is 2,100,000. Ons het dit al net gister uitgewerk. Balance. Saldo. Is julle all right hiermee? Are you fine balancing the ordinary share capital account? Is iemand 'n probleem daarmee? Is julle okay? I'm not going to do the note. I'm first going to practice another exercise on ledger accounts and then I will do the note. Then we get to the retained income account. Dan kom ons by die behoue inkomste rekening. By die behoue inkomste rekening gaan jy kan sien, we haven't actually added in the our share, the company share of the profit has not been added there yet. Want ons het dit nog nie uitgewerk nie. So I'm not going to do anything with that account at the moment. Ons het nog niks bygevoeg nie. This balance was the company share of the profit from previous years. Ons het nog niks vir hierdie jaar bygevoeg. Kan julle sien? So let's leave that one for the while. Dan kyk ons hierso. So as income tax is done, so ons kan kyk hierso. If I add up here 420 if my, can you see that we've paid too much tax? Can you see this? How do I remember? I'm not going to take the 70,000 on this side and the 70,000 on that side into account. Want ons het net nou maar al daai rekeningkie afgesluit. It was balanced properly. So on this side, I have 870,000. On this side, if I add up, I have 905,000. This, the debit side, sê vir jou wat jy al reeds hierdie jaar betaal het. This is how much we've really paid this year. The credit side tells you what you were supposed to pay. So wat sien jy hierso? Het ons te veel betaal of te min betaal? We've paid too much. So die groot kant, any ledger account works like that. So they add the bigger side. Same on this side. Then obviously there's an amount missing here. Dit gaan wees die saldo. That's the balance. Carry down, oorgedra. And that amount is 35,000. What does this mean? That next year, the start of next year, we in the company will have to ask SARS, please refund the money. Want as ons nie vir hulle vra nie, gaan hulle nie vir ons geld teruggee nie. We've paid too much. And again, it will be better for us to get our own money back. Dit is miskien nie 'n groot bedrag vir die maatskappy nie, so they will most probably, Pick n Pay is not going to worry about 35,000. But if it's a smaller company, 35,000 Rand is a lot of money. So that is something that the company that you are working at, that company will be, their policy will be, yes, if we've paid too much, SARS can keep the money. Or no, if the amount is above a certain amount, we would like to have our money back. But SARS is not refunding you out of their own. You will have to ask. For a person, a natural person, if my tax that I've paid was too much during the year, then they automatically refund me. Maar dat maak nie so met 'n maatskappy nie. Want die maatskappy gaan mos in elk geval weer moet belasting betaal. But don't forget that balance must be brought down. This is 2021. Dit gaan wees na Augustus kom September. On the 1st, saldo. balance. Afgebring, brought down. And the amount is 55,000. Are we okay with this? Are we fine? Iemand 'n probleem hiermee? Tanya, are you fine? Right. Then we had to do shareholders for dividends. There's nothing to balance. Want hierdie rekening is al klaar van tevore hierdie jaar het ons al klaar omgesaldeer daarbo, kan julle sien? So there's only one entry, nothing to do. Are we fine with that? We owe the shareholders 6, we the company. If I talk about we, it's I am the company, we the company. Owe the shareholders 672,000 rand. Hulle gaan nie vir jare wag nie, né? Must be paid within the next few days, in the next month. At the most, they're going to wait 2 months. Because you cannot make this promise and do not keep to that promise. There's nothing that will upset a shareholder than waiting too long for the dividends that the company has promised them. Hy gaan sy aandele verkoop. Want hy kan nie, remember, you make an investment because you want to earn a return on your investment. Mens maak 'n belegging want jy wil 'n opbrengs daarop verdien. Jy wil ook nie 50 jaar wag vir die opbrengs nie. Is julle by daarmee? But then we get to the nominal accounts. You know from grade 10 and grade 11 that all nominal accounts must be closed off at the end of a year. Julle weet mos dit, né? All the incomes and expenses must either be closed off to trading account, jy gaan mos afset na die handelsrekening of die wins en verlies. So ek het spesiaal vir jou nou die jaareindprosedure hier gewys. The year-end procedure is first of all, calculate the gross profit. Jy weet mos hoe om die bruto wins te bereken. Dit word gedoen in 'n handelsrekening. You calculate that in the trading account. Trading account is the sales. Remember, don't forget, from sales you must minus debtors allowances. Ons het mos oor graad 10 gedoen. En koste van verkope en dan kry jy jou bruto wins. The gross profit must go to the next final account, which is a profit and loss. A trading account cannot have a balance because it is a final account. A final account can never have a balance, otherwise it's not final. Dis 'n finale rekening. 'n Finale rekening kan nie 'n saldo hê nie. As hy 'n saldo het, is hy nie finaal nie. Is julle by daarmee? Are we fine? Van bruto wins gaan jy mos jou netto wins bereken en jy doen dit mos in die wins en verlies. After you've done the gross profit, you're going to calculate the net profit and you do that in the profit and loss. Hoe werk wins en verlies nou weer? You start with the gross profit. Ek gaan sommer daar skryf GP, bruto wins. Then you add all the other incomes, you minus all the expenses en dan sit jy wat jou netto wins dan is. Is jy by? That net profit, ek gaan sommer nou sê, let's make this add it up to 50,000. En met hierdie kant mos ook 50,000 wees. And all of this together, kom ek skryf sommer net een bedrag daarin. Net soos jy kan sien, al daai uitgawes saam, all of that, kom ons maak dit sommer 75,000. Oeps, nie 25. Maak dit 35,000, 35,000. So what is the remaining profit now, the net profit? The 50 minus the 35. Is julle reg? Geef jou 15,000 rand. If this was a sole owner, I, the owner of the business, take the 15,000 and there I go. If this was a partnership, as dit 'n vennootskap was, ek en Tanya was in 'n vennootskap, take the 15,000, the two of us must share it. We must get a little bit of salary, a bietjie vir rente op kapitaal, bonus, or remember all of that? Are you fine? And then the remaining bit of the 15,000 we will share as profit. Can you dit onthou? Now we're a company. Obviously, that 15,000 rand does not belong to the company. It must now be shared. First of all, SARS wants his bit. Hy's heel eerste in die ry. Then shareholder and company. So ons moet daai 15,000 rand verdeel tussen 3 partye. Is julle by daarmee? And as soon as we share, then we have an appropriation account. Sodra mens geld verdeel, dan het jy 'n verdelingsrekening. Is julle by daarmee? Again, profit and loss being a final account cannot have a balance. You cannot write balance here because if it's a balance, then it's not a final account. You take that 15,000 rand and you're now going to put this in something called an appropriation account. Jy het al 'n verdelingsrekening gedoen. We start with the 15,000. This must nou al wat daar is. It's a simple bedrag, ek weet. And this comes from the appropriation account. Dit kom van die verdelingsrekening. Ag, ekskuus tog, dit kom van die wins. Ekskuus tog julle, van die wins en verlies. Ja, dankie. Comes from the profit and loss. Dankie, JD. Is julle alright daarmee? Now, who must get money? 3 partye. SARS must get money. What must SARS get? The income tax. Is julle reg daarmee? Ons het mos 3 partye. Die eerste een is Sahid, hy is die belangrikste van almal. Hy moet inkomstebelasting kry. Then there is shareholders. Wat gaan die aandeelhouers moet kry? The dividends. Wat is die rekening van dividende? It's ordinary share dividends of dividends on ordinary shares, gewone aandele dividende. Is julle by daarmee? Are we fine? And then the remaining profit, who must get that? Die maatskappy self. Where does the company keeps its part of the profit? Retained income. Wat oorbly gaan behoue inkomste toe. En die E van behoue inkomste bysit. Is julle alright? Are we fine with that? Is julle seker? Are we okay, people? Is there anyone who has a problem? Enige iemand? Are you fine? Okay. So if the profit is 15,000, can we share more than 15,000 at this stage? Nee, want wie gaan die res inbetaal? Jy. Is julle by hiermee? So let's say tax is 30%, so 30% of the 15,000 gaan 4,500 wees. Ek skryf sommer net hierso nou, dat jy kan sien, ek het sommer net 'n persentasie gevat. That's 50%. So now there is 10,500 rand left. Let's say that the total shares this year and this ordinary shares, ek gaan hier byskryf, dit is verklaar en betaal. The ordinary, die gewone aandele dividende is what you've paid and declared. Paid was somewhere during the year, declared is the end of the year. Is julle by daarmee? Paid is your interim dividends, betaal is jou tussentydse dividende, declared is what you promised them at the end of the year, the final dividends. Is julle by daarmee? Are we fine? So kom ons maak dit nou maar in totaal 7,000 rand. What is left then? 7 and 4 is 11, 3,500, and that is this company's bit that from this year's profit that the company can keep for itself. Is jy by daarmee? Okay, so this is now the theory. Nou kom ons gaan pas dit nou toe op die oefening wat ons gedoen het. Are we okay with that? Okay, so kom ons gaan nou terug na ons oefeningkie toe. Right, we have to do ek gaan nou hierdie ek gaan my nog 'n reken. Kom ons haal net ek haal net hierdie bedrae nou uit en ons doen ons vir ons regte oefeningkie. Right? Jy kan net skryf net die regte oefenings te bedrae in. Right. What was the profit according to the information? Hulle het gesê die wins vir die jaar was 2,9 miljoen rand. So what is the money that we get from profit and loss? 2,9 million. So ek gaan dit nou hier inskryf. 2,9 dinge daarby uitkom. Hierso. Right. 2,9. Is julle alright daarmee? Are we fine? That's the correct amount. Is julle by? Are you fine, Mr. Sushil? You know where I got that from? Dit het gebeur in 2021, August the 31st. Aan die kant ook, 2021, Augustus die 31ste. Is julle alright? Are we fine, people? Go back to your exercise and read, Titan. You are very lazy. There they tell you in big fat letters they said 2.9 million. You are very lazy. Well, okay. Are you fine? Right. Let's go and find the sharing of the profit. Hulle het gesê ons moet belasting betaal. We need to pay income tax at 30%. En watter rekening gaan jy die inkomstebelasting sien? In which account will you find income tax? Income tax account. Go to your income tax account. Daar staan inkomstebelasting. Hoeveel is die inkomstebelasting? 870,000. Can you see that? Right. This means I need to close this account off. Hoe gaan ek hierdie 870,000 wegkry? By writing on the credit side. Okay, ek gaan nie aan die krediet skryf. Kom ons maak dit 'n ander kleur. Sommer daai kleur. I have to do this 2021 August the 31st. This must go to appropriation account because I am busy sharing the profit. Dit moet ons gaan na die verdelingsrekening toe, want ek is besig om die wins te verdeel. If I had to do, ek gaan nou die gee in pas toe maar wat, if this was a general journal transaction, maar jy gaan nie die algemene joernaal hoef te doen ooit nie, ek sê maar net 870,000. Is julle by? Are we fine? Can you see that both accounts now have one entry, same entry? Wat moet ek maak? I need to close off that account. Hoe wys ek sluit dit af? A line and a line. There's nothing left in that account. Is julle by? Is julle by? In my appropriation account, in my verdelingsrekening, let's make this the same color, 870,000. Remember, we know profit of the company must be shared between 3 parties. SARS first for income tax. Dan gaan die aandeelhouers dividende kan kry en wat oor is, hou die maatskappy vir homself as behoue inkomste. Is julle by daarmee? Are we fine? So now the first party is happy, he got his share. Now the next party is the shareholders. In watter rekening gaan jy sien hoeveel dividende in totaal vir hierdie aandeelhouers beloof en betaal is? In the ordinary share dividends account. Daar het jy gesien. The interim one, this was paid, dis al klaar betaal, and this was promised, dis verklaar. Ek wil nie daar skryf nie, vir die boos skryf. En ja, anders doen. This is declared, the end of the year. This is the final one. In total, how much are they supposed to get? The 2 amounts added. Is julle by daarmee? Is julle by? Ek wil nie myself praat nie, want dan gaan ek heeltemal maar raak. 675 plus 672. 1047, is dit reg? Okay. Again, now there are more than one entry on the one side, which means I need to total both sides of this account. Jy weet dit al van graad 10 af al. This is going to be posted, taken, transferred to the appropriation account. Dit gaan ons na die verdelingsrekening toe, want ons is nou besig om die wins te verdeel. Goes to the appropriation account because we are busy sharing the profit or appropriating the profit. Is julle by daarmee? Are we fine? Is there anyone who has a problem? Again, can you see that this account has now been credited, which means that somewhere there must be an account that's going to be debited, en dit is jou verdelingsrekening. Ek gaan sommer daar insit. And the amount was 1047. 1047123. Is it all right? Are we fine? Can we now see what is left that belongs to the company? Wat moet ek maak? I just add, always this one side is going to be the bigger one for now. Ons gaan later leer wat gebeur as dit nie groot genoeg is nie. 2.9 on this side. En dan gaan jy die verskil kry. So it's the 2.9. Minus the 870,000 minus the 1047. Kry julle ook 983? 983, is that right? Kry julle ook 983? This belongs to the company. Can you see that this account now has a debit entry of 983. We said it belongs to the company. Die maatskappy se geld is in die behoue inkomste rekening. So which side of the account I should write? Credit side of retained income. Kredietkant van die behoue inkomste rekening. Let's go back there. Ons kon hom nie klaarmaakie. The date is 2021. It is August the 30th. Oopsie, kyk hoe stel ek vir August. The 31st. This comes from appropriation account. Dit kom van die verdelingsrekening. En as jy in 'n joernaal sou skryf, sal dit die algemene joernaal wees. If you had to do a journal entry, would be the general journal 983. Now you can actually balance this account. Nou kan jy hierdie rekening saldeer. Let's add the 983 plus the 5260. 624. Account must be balanced. Remember, all balance sheet accounts must be balanced at the end of a year. Ek wil nou eintlik hierdie ding moet nou in een reeltjie staan. Ek wil nou nie daar skryf nie. What shall the reason be? 6, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. This date would be August 31st. Three, 5, 4. Beginning of the next year, September the 1st. Balance, saldo. Drawdown, afgebring. 3543. Iemand wat nie verstaan nie. Someone who does not understand. Okay. Activity 2. You must do what I've done now. I must still explain the note for share capital. I must still explain the note for retained income. But I first want to make sure that you can do the ledger accounts before I explain the note. Because in an exam, I can either ask the account or the note. So jy moet albei kan doen. They tend to ask in the final exam, they tend to ask the note more often. Maar ons weet nooit nie. So jy moet die grootboekrekeninge ook kan doen. Okay? Oefening 2 is presies dieselfde. If you have a look at exercise 2, daar kan jy weer sien. Jy hoef nie die nota te doen nie. Please do not do the note. Maar jy moet daar gee hulle vir die rekeninge. Okay? Selfde rekeninge wat ons nou net same account as we just done. Okay?